Hi, you are welcome to Arise United Devils. I'm Kingsley Aigbokaude. As usual, today again, there's a lot of news about Manchester United. There's a lot of stories written about Manchester United. So, without much ado, without wasting your time too much, I want to delve right into the news. Diogo Dalot gives insight into Manchester United tactical demand from Eric Ten Hag. That is the headline of the first story of the day. Manchester United defender Diogo Dalot has provided insight into his role as a modern-day fullback, admitting that he relishes the opportunity to help the team's attackers. Dalot had a 100% tackle win rate. He completed all of his dribbles and won 80% of his duels against Manchester City. Despite the loss, the Portuguese international was one of a handful of players to emerge with a degree of credit from the derby, and he has regained his starting role this season after a battle with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who has been absent for the last 2 months with an unknown issue. Dalot provides more value in attacking scenarios than Wan-Bissaka, and he signed a 5-year contract extension in May, which suggests he could stay at United for years to come. He recently spoke to club media about his role and said, "I think nowadays people are a little bit more aware and educated about it, which are the positions that require a little bit more of physical output. Obviously, if you are a midfielder and a fullback, you will run a little bit more than probably a winger or a center back, but that's just part of the game nowadays. We need to adapt constantly. We just need to do it, especially in a league like the Premier League, which is high intensity, high tempo, and everything is the highest speed and on the hardest level. So you need to be ready." He was asked about roaming up and down the flank and added, "It's part of my game, obviously, and our game. I just like to say this. It's our game, not just me. But every fullback that plays in the team, they need to be ready to help the team going forward and to defend." So these are the demands and standards for the club. Especially for a fullback, if you want to help on the attack and at the same time it's trying to be a good defender, you need to have energy. You need to do the right thing so you can be available. And we have plenty of people that help me to be in the best condition so I can play like that. Dalot has started 24 of the 27 games in the league, and he has recaptured the form that saw him earn plaudits before the World Cup in Qatar in 2022. Manchester United make decision on Kobe Mainoo's contract amid breakthrough season. That is the headline of the next story. Manchester United have opened talks to extend Kobe Mainoo's contract in recognition of the youngster's growing importance to the first team. Mainoo signed a long-term contract in February 2023, but has enjoyed a breakthrough season, and initial discussions have taken place over a new deal to reflect his importance. The midfielder will receive a wage increase if he signs a new deal, but the Manchester Evening News understands all parties are relaxed about the situation and there's no rush to accelerate talks, with the player focusing on his United performances for the remainder of the season. It is understood the performance-related bonuses in Mainoo's current contract have been triggered, which is why there is no panic from the players' camp to urgently push for a new deal. There is movement in negotiations for a new contract expected in the summer, although Mainoo is understood to be focused on his football and keeping his feet on the ground. Stockport-born Mainoo still lives at home, and club sources have previously said they would be surprised if he ever got ahead of himself, and is been described as a very calm character. A source has told the Manchester Evening News that Menu loves to play with Casemiro because the Brazilian's defensive discipline gives him the license to take up more advanced positions. Menu's strong performances have also led to suggestions he could have an outside chance of making the England squad for this summer's European Championship in Germany. The player is weighing up his options about whether to represent England or Ghana, and it is understood he will not make a decision on his international future until when required. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer responds to Marcus Rashford criticism after Manchester United wake-up call. That is the headline of the next story. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has admitted Marcus Rashford will have had a wake-up call after his recent disciplinary issue with the club play out in public. Rashford was spotted partying in Belfast nightclub last month, with United saying they were informed the imagery of the 26-year-old was on a Wednesday ahead of the player's day off on Thursday. The United forward was subsequently absent from training on Friday due to illness and absent from the squad to face Newport County in the FA Cup. Erik ten Hag described this incident as an internal matter and refused to shed further details on the matter with the media. Such controversy arrived on the back of criticism leveled at the England international for poor body language during matches this campaign, which Rashford recently hit back at during an interview with the Players' Tribune. Plenty of advice has been offered to the United number 10 in recent weeks after criticism that has come his way, and Solskjaer has weighed in on the debate. Telly 442. Obviously, I managed Marcus for 3 years and I know him. It's not my job to go out and discuss his performances, but last season he was fantastic, and it's about consistency in football. Marcus and many others haven't hit the heights this season. I am sure he had a wake-up call recently, and hopefully that will spur him on. Speaking at an event in India, the Norwegian was then asked by a journalist if it's the job of the manager to get the best out of Rashford, and he added, I am not sure it's the manager's job to get the best out of Marcus Rashford. Is it the manager's job to get the best out of him? Or is it mostly himself? Or any player's responsibility to get the best out of yourself? That's more important, he said. Manchester United set for talks with Borussia Dortmund over Jadon Sancho's future. That is the headline of the next story. Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund are reportedly set for talks on Jadon Sancho's future. In January, Sancho rejoined former club Dortmund, where he used to play between 2017 and 2021. In his first game back, he helped create a goal against Darmstadt. According to HITC, the big bosses at United have decided they want to sell Sancho, but Dortmund would rather have him on loan for another season with the option to buy him at the end of 2024 to 2025 season. United have told Sancho and his team that they would prefer to sell him in the summer, which is what Sancho wants to. Sancho could return to United if Dortmund decide not to pay the permanent transfer fee. The Red Devils are pushing for a loan with an obligation to buy at a minimum if they can't convince the German team into a straightforward deal. The two teams will try to find a middle ground when they discuss Sancho's future in the next few weeks. After assisting a goal in the second debut for BVB, Sancho has gone 7 games without contributing to a goal. He was really good. Erling Haaland offers advice to Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund. That is the headline of the next story. Erling Haaland has told his fellow Scandinavian striker and Manchester rival Rasmus Højlund to keep on improving after admitting he's been impressed with his first season in the Premier League. Haaland's 18 goals make him the Premier League's top goal scorer, and he's now up to 54 in 57 games in the league for Manchester City. But after a slow start, Højlund is starting to show signs of potential for Manchester United. The Dane has scored in 6 successive Premier League matches, having only broken his duck on Boxing Day, and his absence from Sunday's Etihad derby was a major blow for United. Højlund's first taste of the derby at Old Trafford in October saw him concede a penalty when he was penalized for holding Rodri after a VAR review. But Norwegian Haaland was impressed by him during that game, with the two strikers being compared at times this season despite the difference in expectations and their goal scoring record. Haaland was often linked with a move to United, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trying to bring him to Old Trafford in January 2020, only for the striker to move to Borussia Dortmund instead. He is now leading City's charge towards another treble, but he knows the pressure Højlund will be under as the man expected to deliver goals at United. His start was a bit hard, but then it became much better, so says Haaland. When we played against him, he was really good. He's a good player. He's young like me. He has to keep up developing, and as a striker for Manchester United, he has to score goals as well. That's his job. So says Erling Haaland. Man United decide on new head of recruitment after Sir Alex Ferguson's ringing endorsement. That is the headline of the last story of the day. Manchester United have identified Dougie Freedman as their top target to become the club's new head of recruitment, and are set to make a formal approach to Crystal Palace. The move is the latest undertaken by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Significant changes have already been made by the new regime. It's been widely reported that overhauling the club's recruitment strategy was viewed as a priority by Ineos, and progress is now being made on that front. A new report from the Independent has outlined that Freedman has emerged as United's top target to head up recruitment as a result of his impressive body of work at Crystal Palace, who have made a number of shrewd acquisitions during his tenure. Freedman has garnered a reputation as one of the Premier League's most astute sporting directors at Selhurst Park. Not only has he identified several highly rated young players with a high resale value, he has also helped the Eagles remain competitive in the South London area, widely regarded as a hotbed for talent. Palace are braced for United to make an official approach for Freedman's services this week. United are keen to fill the position quickly, with Berada and Dan Ashworth, the club's prospective new sporting director, both on gardening leave. It's hoped Palace will be open to letting Freedman to start work at Old Trafford immediately, although they are likely to offer him a new deal in a bid to stave off interest. Freedman will report to Ashworth and Berada should he accept the role, meaning he will not wield the same power he currently has at Palace. Freedman, formerly a manager at Palace, Bolton and Nottingham Forest, is a long-term ally of United legend Sir Alex Ferguson. The pair first met back in 2011 when Palace eliminated Ferguson's team from the League Cup and have remained in touch ever since. It was indicated in reports late last year that Ferguson was likely to be sounded out by Ratcliffe before Ineos made any significant changes at Old Trafford due to his wealth of knowledge and expertise within the game. So with this, we have come to the end of the news for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share and like. I'll see you again tomorrow morning.